Good to have everybody here this evening. And again, welcome all of our guests checking in from across the country, from many different homes, from Chicago to Texas to New York and Connecticut here this evening, and Kansas City as well. Great to have everybody, and it's incredible to have this technology to come into your home and your office, your maybe restaurant, wherever you're meeting here this evening, and share an opportunity that has very dramatically changed my life. And it is my great honor to get things kicked off here this evening and introduce our very special guest presenter that's going to share his story. And that's really what this business is about, is the lives that we're changing, the stories that we're creating because of this incredible opportunity that has changed so many lives, including mine, over the course of the past 10 years. So without further ado, let me introduce our guest and get this rolling here. We have an individual that is a Pure Energy Award winner, which is an award given to the movers and the shakers of Ambit Energy. Hails from Westchester, New York. We won't hold that against him. He's an ambition speaker. He's been featured on several successful Success from Home magazines, which are in newsstands now, actually, and in the current version in newsstands, or maybe just recently taken off because it was the November issue. Maybe they're putting December out, but he's the centerfold of that issue. So right there where you see the DVD in the very middle of the magazine, he's on that page, so he's very easy to find. In his own words, he has the greatest head of hair in Ambit Energy that he's meticulously styled here this evening for us. So please help me welcome my good friend, Jay Emma. Welcome to the broadcast, Jay. Great to have you. The floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're good.
Okay, that's great. That's the first time I've ever been introduced like that, and it's absolutely a pleasure. So thank you very much. Anyway, it's really nice to make some new friends. It's nice to hear that some of my friends are listening from around the country. I've got a friend of mine in New Jersey, Jose. Just want to say hello to him. I just shared the opportunity with him, and we're meeting tomorrow at Dunkin' Donuts. Looking forward to connecting with him as well. And so maybe I'll just start by sharing my story and telling everyone how I learned about the opportunity. If you're tuned in right now, you have a friend or a family member that invited you to take a look at the business, and that's what happened to me. About 6 years ago, I was working as a business consultant, and a friend of mine actually called me to ask me to become a customer. And he said, Jay, I can save you money on your electric bill, and you can do me a huge favor and support me in my new endeavor. And I said, no problem. I grabbed my electric bill. Then he said, hey, Jay, there's a way to make money doing this. And I said, no way. I was not interested at all. And even though in my life I've taken pride in the fact that I'm an open-minded person, I was not interested. But he made me promise that I would come to a business presentation, and I did. He cashed in on that promise about 4 months later, and I went to a meeting. And about 3/4 of the way through the meeting, I heard somebody stand up in the meeting, and they said, we don't sell anything. All we do is we help people save money on a bill they have to pay. And when I heard that, I was fired up about this opportunity. I didn't want to be excited about it, but when I heard that that's how we make money on something that everybody already pays for, I got really excited about the business. And like I said, at the time, I was working as a business consultant, and I was paying my bills, but I took this business seriously. And even though I only had a few hours a week, within 18 months of starting Ambit Energy, I was making more money on a couple hours a week with my part-time endeavor with this business than I was making full-time as a business consultant. Fast forward, and what the business has given me is total freedom. I control my calendar. I don't drive a $300,000 Bentley or live in a $5 million house yet. But what I do have is freedom. I control my calendar, and I come and go as I please. I've never been the kind of person that could sit behind a desk for 40 hours a week and say, yes, sir, no problem, got you covered. That's just never been my way of living, and this is a great opportunity. I have a few minutes just to share with you. If you're learning about the business for the first time, I want to welcome you, and I'm happy that you're learning about the business. I have a few minutes to just tell you that this business is really special. Why does an average person like me have the opportunity to do above average things? And that's really the question that I think we've got to ask ourselves, because if this business wasn't good for the average person, then it wouldn't be a good opportunity. And there's a couple of reasons why. Number one, the reason why this business works for average people is because it's a service, it's not a product. Just like I heard that gentleman up in the front of the room, his name was Frank Nagel. He's an executive consultant in our business. And he said that we don't sell anything. All we do is we help people save money on a bill they have to pay. So that's the reason why this business works. Everybody, the two things people don't want to change in their life is their budget and their buying habits. So that's why this business works. It's a service. The other reason is it's part-time. I started this business a couple hours a week, and most people start this business, they have a full-time job or a business, and they're only taking their spare time. We don't have spare time, actually. We don't have part-time. We don't have extra time, but we all have unproductive time. And what I tell people is you take a handful of unproductive hours every single week, and you can turn that into money, time and money and freedom and choices in your life. That's the way this business works. The average American watches 26 hours a week worth of TV. Now, I know nobody listening to me right now watches any TV, so that doesn't apply to you, but maybe you have unproductive time. Maybe you do watch a little TV. Maybe you have a little bit of unproductive time. We all spend time on Facebook. If we can take a few hours a week of that time and dedicate it to this business, it can be life-changing over time. It's very profitable. You've seen this opportunity. One of the other things that's amazing is there's $474 billion a year spent on residential electricity. All we're doing is capturing a part of that market. This year, Ambit Energy is going to pay over $100 million to people like me and you. Why not be one of those people that just take some of that money? Over the next 20 or 30 years, it's going to be that number is going to grow dramatically as we expand around the country and as we expand internationally. What's going to happen is we're going to have access to much more money than $750 billion, which we have right now if you add small commercial. The timing's perfect. Most people don't know that we're in the middle of the largest transfer of wealth in the history of free enterprise, according to Warren Buffett. And like I said, if you just look at the current numbers, it's about $750 billion if you add small commercial. But let's just look at the residential side, $474 billion a year spent on residential electricity. So we're just capturing a piece of that market, and that's why the timing's perfect, because most people don't even know that. We have a proven system. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm a firm believer that success leaves clues. I love to read. I love to learn. I've been mentored by some of the most successful people in America, and I've been sitting under their teaching for a lot of years. And we all know what it's like to work hard, but why not learn to work smart? And I think of this business as a vehicle. So some of you that are paying attention to this video are driving a certain vehicle, and you're getting a certain result. That's your job. That's your business. And it's sort of like two people. If you have two people of exact same skill sets, and one is on a bicycle and one is driving a Ferrari, if it's a race for a mile down the road, the guy in the Ferrari is going to win, not because he's better, but because he's in a better vehicle. Our business is a better vehicle. We've got the opportunity to leverage time and create freedom in a way that's very unusual. And that's why the business for average people can produce extraordinary results. We have a system. The great motivational guru, Tony Robbins, says that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions that you ask. And in our business, if you're learning about the business for the first time, you probably fall under one of three different categories, we like to say. And we're going to say A, B, and C. If you're a C, that means you saw the opportunity and it doesn't make sense to you at all. And if it doesn't, as far as the opportunity goes, the timing's not right. You're not interested in making money with this opportunity. That's fine. I learned a long time ago that a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. So that's certainly, we're not trying to convince anybody. If you're not interested in making money with the business, just lean over to your friend at the end of this meeting and say, look, just sign me up as a customer. I'd love to support you in that way. I'll save some money, and maybe I'll even get free energy, but the opportunity doesn't make sense for me right now. Most people, I think, fall under the B category, and that means I'm interested in the business, but I don't know if I can do it. Do I have enough time? Do I know enough people? How does it work? How do I get started? There's a lot of different questions, and that's why I said it's important to ask those questions to the right people. Even though we all have neighbors and brother-in-laws and friends, if they're not involved in this business and successful at it, they're not going to be able to answer your question properly. If I needed brain surgery, the last person I would go to is my mechanic. And it's just about as silly as asking your neighbor what they know about Ambit Energy. You need to ask people that know the answer. That's my recommendation for people that are in the B category. If you're in the A category, then that means you want to get started. You're excited to get started right now. My suggestion would be, it's pretty simple. Lean over to the person who invited you to this business to take a look at it. Tell them that you're excited about the business. You want to make money. You don't know all the answers, and you don't need to have all the answers. All you need to do is put your name into the computer, and they will teach you over the next couple of days how to get 3 customers, and you're going to earn your initial $100 back. It's $100 to get started. You can get your website up and going tonight, and then next week you can get a check for $100 simply by signing up 3, your neighbor on the left, your neighbor on the right, and a family member, and you're done. And then you earn your initial $100, and then you can learn how to make many multiples of that moving forward. But that's certainly a good place to start, and that's my suggestion for people, is just to get started. Like I said, it's been life-changing for me. The biggest blessing the business gave me was it allowed me to spend the last 12 months of my mom's life with her. My mom passed away a few years ago, unfortunately, but I was able to, I didn't have to ask anybody for permission for time off, and I didn't have to worry about paying any bills. As a matter of fact, I made more money that year than I made the year before, and that's because I got started in this business, and it's given me the freedom to control my calendar and live a life that I never thought was possible, and the best is yet to come. I hope I have the opportunity to meet each and every one of you. If you're a guest and you're learning about the business, get started, join the business with us, and I'm looking forward to being any part of anybody's success that I can. So thanks, Sean, for the opportunity to share. Have a great night, everyone.